Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz at ClassicsToday.com. Open the stables. We've got some pretty bad Bruckner. Oh, yes, there they are. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I mean, I've been rooting for this series. I have. It's the complete Bruckner symphonies in every possible version, featuring, in this case, the Bruckner Orchestra Linz under Markus Poschner. And he's done some fabulous stuff. I mean, he really has. His sixth was wonderful. The eighth was wonderful. There have been quite a few more of these released, actually, that I've been paying attention to. I need to get caught up. They did the earlier version of the eighth. I don't think I'm going to bother with that because it sucks, no matter who does it or what it is. But now we're dealing with number two. And this is an issue. This is an issue. Number two is one of the most difficult. I mean, there is many different versions or more than number three, but it's a much more problematic work. You see, the third symphony has really strong and distinctive thematic material, so it really doesn't matter how Bruckner jumbles it up. It's all going to work out in the end, most of the time. But two, no. You know, it's very interesting. There's an interesting correspondence between Bruckner's Second Symphony and Dvorak's Second Symphony. Both are essentially pastoral works. And the problem with both of them is, at least in the initial movements, not so much later on, although Bruckner's finales are, the problem with them is that there's a lack of contrast, of internal contrast in sections. You know, the opening of Bruckner 2 is this ya da 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 dum, ya da 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 dum. Yeah, it's very nice. And then there's this motive da 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 in the trumpets that you hear 30 trillion times. Then the second subject is ya da 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 do 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 da 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 rubber baby buggy bumpers rubber baby. That's what it sounds like to me. It just goes on forever. And then the third subject, which is usually like a dance, like remember, like in the Seventh Symphony, dum ba da dum bum bum ba da dum bum bum. You know that it's similar to that, but it isn't. It just is dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum da da dum ba da dum da da dum da da dum, and you hear that rhythm, dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum, for about, oh God, it seems like weeks. I mean, it just seems like weeks. It just goes on and on and on. And there are the usual pauses between each thematic clump, because Bruckner was a clumpish composer. It's a problem. I mean, it's just a problem. And to get past it, you need to maximize the contrasts. No maximizing here. No maximizing at all. This is a performance almost entirely without climaxes. It's quick. It's swift, but Poschner seems to have this strange kind of period instrument applied to romantic music affect. You know, all of the crescendi, decrescendo, feminine endings at the end of phrases. There's no strength. There's no muscle. And so the result is that even though it's a quick tempo, these performances are light in character and quick in tempo. It's 16 minutes and a bit. It just seems to go on forever. It's uneventful. It can't be. You just can't do that to this symphony. It needs all the help that you can give it in making it eventful. And then you've got the Adagio, which here is only 13 minutes and 57 seconds. It's an andante, actually. Very, very beautiful movement. It flows nicely. It actually has a decent climax towards the end. I mean, it's the best part of the symphony, probably. The scherzo, I don't get it. It's quick, it's light, but it's all clipped in articulation, and those decrescendos at the ends of phrases, da-da-dum, bum, 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 da-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. I mean, why not? Bruckner doesn't say do da-da-dum, 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 bum, bum, bum. Yuck. You do get the coda here, which actually doesn't sound very good in this particular performance. It sort of stops in the middle of nowhere. I was very disappointed. In the finale, it's the same problem as the first movement. It really is. I mean, at the very end, when everything's, going crazy, and it's supposed to be going dum bum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum, like this, it's riding along, it's doing its thing, and there's just nothing happening. It just sounds clogged up. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the 1877 Kerrigan version, which sounds more clogged up, and Bruckner fixed it later. Who knows? Or it was better earlier. If you think for 1 minute I'm going to worry about which version of this sucker we're talking about, then think again. I mean, it makes absolutely no difference. But the best performance of the second, believe it or not, is probably Schulte Chicago, because it has the excitement and the tension and the contrast and the dynamic range, all the things this performance doesn't have, despite its fleetness and lightness. So I was disappointed. I was quite disappointed by this. And I, you could listen to it if you want and tell me what you think. But it's a problematic symphony, and you can't just flit through it like a butterfly. No, not at all. Avoid. Bottom line, just avoid it. Or don't listen to it and, be bored. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.